Hey guys, it's Shannon, and before I go any further, I need to make an apology. On November 9th, 2020, I uploaded a video entitled Without a Crystal Ball is the Worst. In that video, I talk about numerous public actions that Katie Joy Paulson, the woman who runs the Without a Crystal Ball YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok's accounts, has made. And I discuss my own personal experiences with her, which included her tweeting me nonstop for months on end, trying to get my attention to collab and talk to her and about her, and trying to use me for my platform. I mentioned in that video that her engagement on her YouTube channel doesn't make a lick of sense, and how I have a theory that at least some of her numbers are paid for. I did fail to mention how her video views tend to jump from under 10,000 views to over 30,000 hours after upload in a way that defies logic and most all YouTubers would see as non-legitimate, which again led me to believe that some of her platform is indeed paid for. I made that video using clips that Katie herself put up, things that she has stated, and in the 2 weeks that have come to pass, multiple things have happened. But one thing was clear: I was very wrong. Because I titled the video Without a Crystal Ball is the Worst, I genuinely didn't think that she could get any worse than where she was already at, but somehow, some way, in the span of 2 weeks, she managed to. I don't know how she did it, but Homegirl really made herself look like a clown in a way that I didn't think was possible for her to do. So I'm sorry. That is truly my bad. Next time, I will try to set my expectations lower than dirt. I mean, I should have probably already done that, especially since we are talking about Katie Joy Paulson, a woman whose lawyer is on YouTube responding to comments about her like this. What if someone says he's a professional crook to their 100K Twitter followers, asking for a friend? And what if somebody calls him a career criminal, also asking for a friend? And her attorney, the man who she is paying for legal counsel, this brilliant mind, on a video where he talks about defamation, responds with, calling someone a professional crook sounds like defamation.
You're like really pretty. Thank you. So you agree? What? You think you're really pretty?
And you know what, Aaron Hall, attorney here on YouTube? You're right. You, sir, get a little Scooby snack for that brilliant deduction. When we are dealing with people like this, I truly should have expected lower, and I mean it. I'm sorry I didn't. In the time that has elapsed since I last spoke about Katie Joy Paulson, which, mind you, has simply been 2 weeks, a lot of things have happened. Like a lot of things. So many things that, when I list them off, you are going to be sincerely confused as to how she managed to do all of these things in such a short amount of time. And frankly, I still don't know how she did it. Katie is like a magician, only instead of making rabbits disappear, she makes brain cells disappear. Katie put out an apology the same day as my video, which was clearly made the night before my video came out. The same night when she said this on live stream.
If Creepshow is in the audience, I just want to tell her to stop talking about me. I saw her comment in there, and if that's really her that's in the show, like, she needs to stop defaming me. She needs to stop saying I stalked her. I never stalked her. Sending her 2 emails is not stalking her. And if she continues to do this and like be a part of this, like, just stop it, Creepshow. I've never made a video about you. Stop talking about me. And she's literally in the chat calling me a goober. Or get out of this chat right now. You are being a bully. You are nothing but a bully. I have never stalked you. Leave me alone. I will get my lawyer to get you in this lawsuit. Leave me alone, Creepshow. I'm done.
In her video, she stated that despite the fact that she is an adult in her 40s and swears that she has a brain, that she should not be held responsible for her actions, and that anyone who had any negative opinions on her based on the things that she has said and done have simply been radicalized by trolls. Never mind the fact that she is critical of people in her own videos, going so far as to misrepresent parties in a way to hurt them and their businesses. She really said that people out here doing the same to me? Katie? Nah, it's different. 'Cause I said so. She also stated that any videos that had been shared, like the ones of her calling a child victim of abuse a brat, or the multiple ones of her attacking her own fans, including an autistic woman who stated she was being negatively triggered by the sounds of Katie eating.
I'm having a single M&M that bothers you. See you, Carolyn. God forbid.
Were clearly edited and not real, even though more videos then came out showing even more of her actions and showing literally all the context around them. In that video, which, reminder, was supposed to be an apology to the community at large, she also stated that she is no longer responding to the trolls and responding to criticism, with the hopes that she could now foster friendship with the people she had threatened to sue literally that same day. People like me, Angelica Oles, Dustin Daly, Emily D. Baker, Truth Sleuth, Nick Snyder, Tipster, Augie RC, and many, many, many more. Because really, Katie's name should be Sue. Because she's so Sue happy. But like most things that Katie does, it did not go over well, which is to be expected when you're over the age of 5, telling people that you should not be held responsible for your actions simply because you don't want to be. Like, I don't know how she thought that was going to go, but all right, if I go to court, can I just say, I don't want to be here? Will they let me off? Is that how it works? I don't know the law. But she affirmed in that video that she was no longer going to speak about these situations involving her criticism or talk about the trolls. And like most things she said, that turned out to be untrue. So untrue, in fact, that she managed to go less than a day before turning around and trying to claim that absolutely everything that I said in my video was a lie. And tried, keyword tried, to make an exposed video on me. Now I know I said keyword back there, and I'm being intensely careful with my wording in this video because in all honesty, I can only really say an attempt was in fact made with that video. Was it good? Absolutely not. Was it successful? No. But did she keep it up for an hour before turning off the comments and then deleting it altogether because so many people criticized her rightfully? Yeah, she did. I mean, in the video, she tried to go as far as to say that I fabricated her saying that a child abuse victim was being bratty. And in order to disprove what I had said, this Megamind showed a video of her saying what I said she said in the same context. So essentially, she stated, I didn't do this thing, then showed a video of her doing said thing, and crossed her arms triumphantly without realizing that she made herself look worse. Like she just didn't understand what had happened there and what she had said, and I don't know. It was genuinely shocking. Let me remind you, she makes her living making critical videos on people. She makes videos going over how other people's actions are ridiculous. And yet, she made this masterpiece. And I can't. For that alone, I will give Katie this little gold star sticker. Because was it good? No. She tried her best. Bless her heart. Directly after that, I don't want to call it a video because it sincerely wasn't. It was in video form, yes, but still. After Katie made that thing on iMovie and uploaded it, then privated it, and then took it down, she ended up making a second apology. One where she once again stated she would no longer be responding to criticism and she would no longer be live streaming because the sheer frantic energy she was exuding was causing power outages in her area. And once again, that was proven to be false within 24 hours. Now, all of that was good and fun. The initial reaction after the video was hilarious to me. Katie making videos where she says something that is clearly false and contradictory without realizing it, that's normal. That's Gucci. I've seen her do that 1,000,001 times. It's what happened after that was actually worrying. For those of you who don't know, on November 14th, I was made aware that my personal private information, aka my docs, had been shared by Katie in a Discord server of one of her friends here on YouTube. I was then informed that the information was promptly deleted, she was then removed from the Discord, and I was shared screenshots that showed the direct aftermath, in which Katie stated it had been an accident, then later went on defending the reasoning as to why it wasn't a big deal. She really said, whoops, didn't mean to, then went on to justify why it was alright to do so. Her justification also included that she wanted the person to use the information to make their own videos about me, which shows that the sharing was in fact malicious, but we aren't there yet. Now, as someone who works outside of YouTube, I have a regular job and a family and people I care about, this was a big deal to me. I live in a country where swatting is a massive problem, and I live with people I love, and I personally would never want to put them in harm's way simply because they are associated with me. For the next couple of days, I was receiving numerous messages from people, some threatening, some supportive, telling me what had been shared, addressing me with information that had not been made public, and it genuinely freaked me out. My inboxes on every single platform, Instagram, Twitter, even my email, were full, and it was more than a bit alarming. Was it surprising though? Absolutely not, because this is something that Katie has done before to other people. In one example, Katie had joined a Facebook group that was meant to rehome children. This was done in the midst of the Micah Stafford situation, so it's fair to assume that she was trying to get further information regarding to where that child was and how rehoming worked. Katie had joined that Facebook group and was later kicked out of the group, probably when they realized that she wasn't there to open her doors to a child in need, as the group was intending it to be for. She later opined on Twitter how people in charge of the group were predators looking to sexually abuse kids, and then went further to release the full name and information of the woman who was running the page, stating that she was, quote, selling kids to strangers online, and that it was akin, I guess, to trafficking. Did she have proof of this literal crime she was accusing a Facebook group of? No, because surely, if she had done, she wouldn't have tweeted about it, and she would have submitted a tip to the FBI and got in contact with them. The same way I and countless others have when we stumble upon something as disgusting as this. But despite not sending the tip in, despite not doing any of that, she did post to her thousands of Twitter followers with the intent for them to go and harass this woman who was only guilty of trying to give kids good homes. She thought that was okay. Never mind the fact that also, in a similar time frame, she posted the docs of James and Micah Stafford onto Twitter while they were dealing with a massive wave of hate from the internet. Never mind the fact that that directly put them, Micah and James, and their family, which includes young children, into immediate danger. Never mind the time that she posted also about a court hearing and didn't blur out someone's full legal name, something that was not public online, therefore doxing one of the parties involved, either out of malice or just sheer stupidity. Like I said in my first video, Katie has a habit of taking things way too far and doing things that other YouTubers simply would not do. And I have never seen someone dox this many people this much. And for her to say it's all an accident, it's an accident when it happens once. It's an accident maybe when it happens twice. But for you to dox people this much, for you to simply miss my full legal name, to miss my personal private information, that does not make sense. Through Katie's actions with her sharing my docs to get people to make their own videos on me, videos that already exist online that do that already, her trying to make her own exposed videos to prove I was outright lying about her, and her going off on Twitter, it was clear to me that all she wanted to do, her life's journey, her goal at the present moment, was to make me take down my videos in any way possible. She wanted to make me feel unsafe and unsure, and tried to get me to delete the video so she would no longer target me. But seeing as the video stayed up, and I was steadfast in that, even if you were going to dox me, even if you were going to threaten me, she realized her actions were clearly not working, so she opted to change up her tactics. 3 days after sharing my docs, Katie Joy Paulson decided she was going to email me and other content creators who had recently made videos about her. The other content creators involved include Angelica Oles and Lil Red. Now, I already gave out these emails to Truth Sleuth here on YouTube as well as Tipster because they were making videos about this subject. So if you want to know everything that Katie stated in those emails to me, I will link those videos down below. They go over it thoroughly and both are great creators. But she decided she was going to send me an email and try to make it appear that YouTube, yes, YouTube themselves, wanted me to take down my video on her because they decided that despite manually reviewing the video and putting ads on the video after they decided it was worthy of it, that these videos were clearly not okay for them to have on their sites. Katie writes, "Hi Shannon, good afternoon." Which I just have to say, it was 10:30 a.m. when I got this email, which, if you don't know, is morning. I mean, both when she wrote the email and when I received it, it was not the afternoon. The petty bitch in me just wanted to state that outright because I thought it was funny. Have I mentioned I have a dumb sense of humor and I'm a chore to be around? Because I truly am. Anyway, back to the email. I am working with my YouTube manager to try and resolve this issue that is occurring between us, and he asked me to reach out to you privately. She later in the email goes on to state this: "Because my YouTube manager is now involved, please do not take this email and post it publicly."
Uh-oh. I think she posted it publicly and maybe shared it around a little bit because I got it. And this is not a good look for you.
I am told that working privately is what YouTube wants us to do, to end this back and forth. If you post this email publicly, this will then become evidence to YouTube that you were not willing to engage privately to settle this back and forth. It will show a pattern of harassment by you against me. As I ask you to not speak about me, I have no intention of publicly saying anything more about you. I am copying my manager to this email so he has evidence of me trying to reach out to settle this dispute. Now, there's a lot of things wrong with these statements. And straight up, there is plenty of content on this website made on the entirety of these emails by other creators who are smarter than me going over the ins and outs in detail. But I want to focus on her trying to state that YouTube themselves wants us to work things out. That YouTube, the godlike, holy entity that lives in Silicon Valley, YouTube apparently is now invested in this situation, and they're stepping in because that is simply not factual. And Katie is lying. First off, If YouTube wanted my video off the platform, it would be off the platform. YouTube has no issue yeeting content that any creator makes at their own leisure, which we have seen them do time and time again. There are plenty of creators who have stories about their videos getting wrongfully taken down because YouTube determined wrongfully that they are simply not okay. And this video, the one that's still up on my channel, the one that's green carded, the one that was manually reviewed, it is not one of them, Katie. Second off, I am sure if there were any issue with my video, that if YouTube had a problem with me, YouTube would have demonetized it, as well as contacted me themselves, telling me they were taking it down. It seems weird to me that YouTube manually reviewed the video, approved it, decided it was a-okay, only to have gone to a third party to tell them to tell me they actually don't like it. It truly feels like a middle school situation. Like when I was too shy to tell a guy I liked him, so I asked my friend to tell him for me. Like, Shannon doesn't want to tell you, but she likes you. Are you telling me that this billion-dollar corporation that doesn't have any thoughts or feelings because it's a corporation is scared to tell little old me that they want my video down, Katie? Is that what you're trying to say? Are you telling me that your YouTube partner manager, a man whose job includes telling people how to optimize their channel and promote more videos of cats riding Roombas in the algorithm, are you telling me that that man, he was too shy to tell me himself what he thought, and so he's using you as a voice piece? Because that doesn't track with every other time I have talked to Team YouTube on Twitter or any other YouTube representative in the past. That doesn't track at all. However, let's be real. To lie like this, to come up with a harebrained Roadrunner, Tom and Jerry-esque scheme like this, it takes creativity. And that is something that we have seen Katie lacks. So part of this has to come from somewhere truthful. Part of this has to be bred out of some reality. That line of thinking led me to looking up YouTube's actual policy regarding defamation and content regarding that, which in the email is what she was accusing me of. So YouTube's policy on defamation states this: we take into account local legal considerations in our defamation blocking process, and in some cases, we require a court order. For us to be able to process a defamation blocking request, the claim needs to be specific and strongly supported. For example, it needs to be explained why you believe the statements are untrue and how it damages your reputation. Because we are not in a position to adjudicate the truthfulness of postings, we do not remove video postings due to allegations of defamation. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Because we are not in a position to adjudicate truthfulness of postings, we do not remove video postings due to the allegations of defamation. Consistent with Section 230C of the Communications Decency Act, we recommend that you pursue any claims that you may have directly with the person who posted the content. If you choose to pursue legal action against the content creator, note that we may be prepared to comply with any order requiring the content creator to remove the posting in question. Alternatively, you may wish to contact the uploader. For those of you who don't speak YouTube terms of service or needlessly vague legal jargon, YouTube right here is saying we don't take down videos on the grounds of defamation because we can't decide as a platform what is and is not defamation. We don't go over that. And if you want to take the video down, your best bet is to contact the person who posted the video themselves. Anything sans a court order is probably not going to get the video taken down. That's on you, person who wants the video taken down. So at most, what happened, giving Katie all of the benefits of all of the doubts, is that Katie contacted her YouTube partner manager, who again is a man who is not paid enough to deal with this, whose entire job it is to say, hey buddy, let's optimize your uploads and hope you hit that algorithm. She came to him and said, hey, these people are making mean videos on me, and I feel like it's defamation. And he responded by sending her this article on the YouTube help page, telling her to contact us directly to potentially resolve the issue. At most, giving her all the benefits of all of the doubts, that is what happened. But she, the panicked, screaming little goat that she is, tried to turn around and morph that into veiled threats that YouTube was on her side, and veiled threats of deplatforming because, according to her, YouTube was now involved and they wanted me, Angelica Oles, Little Red, and everyone else who had been talking about Katie publicly to take those videos down. Except they were just too shy and insecure to tell us themselves, which makes sense. I am incredibly intimidating to YouTube, the platform that randomly demonetized me this year and told me that I was bullying myself because one video. That makes sense why they would think I am scary. Now, this next point, this next happening, if you will, it's a lot. It's kind of bonkers, and it's something that not only I noticed, but a lot of other people noticed as well. The other day, while I was, bopping around online, I received an email from Instagram telling me, hey, hi, hello. We got a request to reset your Instagram password. Was this you? Now, seeing as I was shaving my legs at the time to be a hairless woman to deal with society standards, I knew that this wasn't in fact me who had sent the request in. Now, the only times I had ever received emails like this, the request to change my passwords on social media, were when, one, I was trying to change my passwords because my little peanut brain forgot them because I make them needlessly hard and change them once a month, or two, when someone was trying to get into my accounts and hack me. Once again, since I was in the middle of shaving my body, I knew it wasn't the first one. I knew it wasn't me who requested this password from my own accounts, so I knew someone was trying to get in. Now, normally, I would see this and think, oh, a moron is trying to hack me. What a dumb person. But I wouldn't place blame on any one singular person. I cover a lot of topics. It could be anyone. There's plenty of people who don't like me. I would never just randomly decide that the person who is targeting me in this way is involved with this Katie fiasco with no evidence. So I just took note of it, thought it was weird, and continued on with my day. But then I saw the same thing happen to Sarah Jo Makeup here on YouTube. In her video going over her DMs with Clark Swanson, the other man who is suing Tati Westbrook, who is also alleged to be Katie's source in the lawsuit, Sarah started to receive notifications that someone was trying to get access to her account while she was on it. Clearly, someone was trying to get into her account, which is weird and invasive. Now that alone, kind of a coincidence. But then another person, who has also made videos about Katie, started to have their accounts targeted as well. That being Lil Red Y'all, who actually lost access to her Twitter. Now, frankly, I don't think me, Lil Red Y'all, Sarah Jo, I don't think we have that much in common. We all make different content and do different things with our channels. So why is it that all of us are being hacked and being targeted at the same time? What is the common denominator here? Oh look, despite all of us making different content, we all three made videos about Katie Joy Paulson and her actions. All three of us talked critically about her, and now, seemingly out of nowhere, at the same damn time, we are all being targeted and having our social medias threatened. Let me once again remind you that this is coming after I received her emails stating that I have colluded with other channels that are copycats that I am associating with. So she is now putting me in cahoots with these people and stating that I need to take my videos down. This hacking, this attempt at hacking is coming after that. But your girl is about to go full Billy Mays, y'all, because wait, there is more. Around the same time that Sarah Jo, Lil Red, and I are all being targeted, guess who else was also dealing with their accounts being threatened? Guess who else was getting emails from their social medias stating someone was trying to get into their accounts? If you guessed, Michael Saltsy, Tati Westbrook's lawyer, who has been talking about this lawsuit publicly, who Katie Joy literally threatened to sue because he is representing Tati and therefore sending her legal documents, which she has decided is harassment. Yeah, the same time, me, Sarah Jo, and Little Red are all being targeted, he also started to receive those emails, stating this on Twitter. Someone thinks it's a good idea to try to break into my Instagram account. This attempt occurred within days of the same thing happening to a drama/beauty channel. I believe there is no such thing as coincidences. My message was more than clear that I was not thinking it was Katie Joy when I wrote it. I have no information that she would be capable of doing such a thing, and I was not looking at her for this. That said, if anyone has actual information/evidence to the contrary, I will review it. And I have to say, Michael, I too do not believe in coincidences. So let me line this up for ya. Michael Saltz is a lawyer. He is well known for plenty of high-profile cases, but is currently representing Tati in her lawsuit against Katie Joy Paulson. He has been openly critical of Katie Joy on Twitter. Sarah Jo Makeup is a makeup and commentary YouTuber who makes content centered around those two things, makeup and commentary. She also recently covered Katie Joy Paulson and was very critical of her. Lil Red Y'all is a YouTuber and a Twitter personality who has documented her experiences with Katie and has actively talked about her in a critical light. And then there is me, who 2 weeks ago made a video entitled Without a Crystal Ball is the Worst, where I talked critically about her actions and what she has done. Now, frankly, there's not a lot of commonalities between us. Turns out I don't have much in common with a lawyer who worked with the likes of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Who knew? But there is one thing we do have in common. There is one singular topic that we all seem to have talked about, and that is, within the past 2 weeks, we have all been critical about Katie Joy via our social medias. And now our social medias are being threatened, while some are being hacked and people are being deplatformed. To me, it is clear that this is being done by someone who is trying to benefit Katie. I am not saying it is Katie, because I don't have proof it is Katie. But clearly there is a pattern here, and the pattern gets even more crazy when you take into account this person who was in the amazing badass lawyer Emily D. Baker's live stream, who stated this. Funny thing, but I sent Without a Crystal Ball a criticism tweet, and a few minutes later, I get a message from Twitter that someone tried to log into my account from another location. Coincidence? Now, I don't know this person. I have never talked to them, and I don't want to give them my 100% stamp of approval that this totally for sure happened because I don't know either way. I haven't seen receipts. But the fact that this happened to me and 3 other people leads me to believe that Dawn over here isn't telling lies. It makes me think that no, it's not a coincidence. That someone working for Katie's benefit, trying to help Katie, is breaking the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, which is punishable by fine or no less than 5 years in prison, as well as potential civil action. I don't know how to end this video. I really don't. I feel like any and all self-preservation instincts are gone because I'm talking about a person who I know has personal private information about me, who is more than comfortable sharing it, and who doesn't care who they hurt, seeing as they have put entire families with literal children in danger before. But at the end of the day, I think this is important. Katie has been allowed to abuse this platform to make money off of literally slandering people and to purposely misrepresent legal documents in order to hurt others. And I'm glad at the very least it's coming to an end and someone's stopping her. Because if they don't stop her, I will contact YouTube because, she copied someone in an email saying she doxed me, and I feel like that's a bit of an issue. If I do get hacked, if my accounts get deleted, if everything goes to shit, then I truly believe I've had a nice run. You guys have been wonderful. I cannot thank you enough for 350,000 subscribers. That number's insane. I will go wander over yonder into the woods and lay down to die. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you continue to stay safe, and I will see you in my next video. Later.